tragedy of the Arab world is once the established regimes collapsed, they were replaced by either radical Islamist groups or by chaos, in which the chaos spread in a sectarian manner, often tribal ways, ethnic breakups. We've seen the area come apart. So what lessons do you learn from that? The importance of reestablishing stability as a core concept of the direction of your policy. We are each in our own ways exacerbating the new tensions in the region. So stability is about reestablishing an understanding among the external powers that the discord inside Arab nations today is none of our interests, and we have to come up with political solutions that address those interests. I think there are many ways this has to be dealt with. The first way is seeking political solutions to the problems that create the refugees. If you don't do that, then you'll continue to generate future flows. That's one aspect. The second aspect is to deal with the question of care for people who have been displaced internally or across borders. And that means generous allocations of assistance for refugee relief. And I can assure you the international community, including the United States, has fallen well short of our responsibilities. But the third issue is migration. There is absolutely no doubt in any of our minds that a significant or a portion of the refugees from and inside the region are going to make their way outside the region, whether it's to Europe or beyond. They're on the move right now. Now, I think, again, in the Syria case, we are underperforming an historic responsibility. We are a nation that could take 100,000 Syrians or 200,000 Syrians if we got our mind set on the fact that that is our responsibility. It's a responsibility of moral dimensions, and it's a responsibility of political importance, and it works for America. We are always stronger by our ability to include those who make their way to this country, often well-educated, productive people, but who are keen to be good Americans. That's the record in the past. It can be again, and we ought to open our doors. We ought to be designing the political package for Syria, not waiting for Russia to create facts on the ground. Now, what is that outcome that you have to have? I think all of us ought to recognize that Syria is not going to be settled militarily. You need a political settlement. Now that means you've got to get an agreement between the external parties who are playing inside the Syrian equation and among Syrians themselves to create a political transition from the regime that exists today through a transitional period to a regime in the future in which Assad goes, and bring that coalition of the majority of Syrians together to build a new state on the one hand, on the other to combat the religious radicals. Then I think the most delicate issue, specific issue, is our relationship to the People's Republic of China and how we accommodate ourselves to the rise of Chinese power, because China is rising economically, security terms, political terms in its Asian area at the moment, but on the global stage in time to come. How do we manage this very delicate but extremely powerful phenomena that is today's China, and do it respectfully, but at the same time firmly?